All right, friends. We're just doing that. All right, friends, we're going to jump on. So I want to get this build done, and also I got to pack up boards for Keep Life. So welcome, everybody. Hello, hello. We're doing another kind of afternoon, late evening stream. So we're doing one of the last builds I need to do in preparation for Keep Life. So the board we're doing is a board I've had for a while. I've just been waiting on parts and everything to kind of come in and get it going. So I had the last part that came in. So what we're going to be building today on stream is going to be a GSKT-00. There we go. Sorry, that's that. It's driving me crazy. So we're building a GSKT-00. So this is a really, really cool build, and I'm really excited to do this build. What's nice is a nice 60% that ran on Group Buy a few years ago. Very simple, just a simple wedge. What's cool about it is the PCB that it comes with is both Cherry MX and Alps compatible, and Careless designed a plate for this thing, which is really awesome. So we're going to be, of course, building it with Alps. So we got the plate that was designed by Careless, made by Tom over at Hype Keyboards. The switches we're using are really special. They also come from Careless. We're using a set of Alps SKCM Cream switches on this particular build. So I'm really excited to be able to build with these particular switches. Careless kind of gave me the exact number I needed for this particular build. So I'm really excited. So we're going to get this build going, and I'm really, really stoked how this is going to turn out. So so let me just double check we're good on switches, but I think we should be fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we are good on switches, friends. So just wanted to make double check on my switch count. So we're using those. We're using a really cool keycap set. So I want to kind of show this keycap set. I want to show one specific keycap that'll basically give you a really good idea of what this keycap set is. So this big ass enter right here basically tells us what set we're using. So we're going to be using a keycap set from an IBM 5140. So Careless, when he designed this plate for this board, he gave me the plate file for this specific keycap set. So this is for this came off an IBM 5140 portable computer, which is really cool. It's kind of one of the IBM's early laptops, and actually comes with Alps SKCM Brown tactile switches. So these are a really cool keycap set. So Careless hooked me up with again, the plate file to be able to build with this particular keycap set. I got a really good deal on this keycap set in the computer it came with. It also comes with the brown Alps. So really excited since we're using the original Alps pattern stabilizers for this build today. And then the PCB is kind of special. So we're actually not going to be using the original PCB that came with this. So I'll tell you why I really didn't want to use the original PCB. So this is a replacement PCB that was made for this specific board a couple of years ago. So the original pattern PCB came with a USB Mini B connector, and I personally prefer to have my boards on USB-C. There's nothing wrong with Mini B. The PCB is fine. But I really want to just have USB-C. I really don't like dealing with dongles, and pretty much every single board in my collection is USB-C. This was just an older board originally. When it originally ran, USB-B was kind of the way to go. But since then, USB-C is just kind of the standard now in the keyboard hobby. So I tracked down one of these PCBs so I could take advantage of the USB-C compatibility of this particular PCB. So that's really, really good. So I'm really excited to be able to utilize this. I actually just got this PCB in today. The reason I've been holding off doing this build is because I was waiting on this PCB. I actually haven't tested this PCB yet. So I'm going to plug it in, and we're just going to go and double check. I don't know if it's VIA or VIAL, so let's double check. It's not popping up in VIA. Okay, let's go into VIAL. Come on. Give it a second. VIAL usually takes a second. Oh, I think I need to flash this. Okay. Well. Let me look up the JST file for this board. I've never built with this because I know my factory PCB for this board works. So let's look up my JST file while we're at it. So we're on here, folks. This is why we do things on stream. So we got time. So let's let me open up Google and let's get this JST file. Actually, let me message the person on Discord, see if they have it. Yeah, so let me see. Give me a second. All right, let's go to my person I bought this from. Give me a second. All right, let's go. Let me find my person. All right, give me a second. Here we go. Give me a second. That's not my person. Give me a second, folks. Where is my person? Huh. Oh, here we go. No? Okay. Here we go. Perfect. All right, cool. We'll deal with it later. We're gonna build it. We'll get it flashed. It's, I know this PCB is brand new. I just gotta flash it. So, let me just go into Google really quick and see if I can do it. All right. No. All right. Give me a second, friends. We're gonna go into Chrome, and we're gonna see what's up with this because I'm looking for. So GSKT. All right, let's see. Sport keyboards. Here we go. All right, I'm on VIA right now, so I'm just gonna see where my. All right. Firmware download. So let's go down. All right, here we go. All right, I'll figure it out later. So let's just get this damn thing built. What's up, Elvin? Yeah, dude. Take care, classman. But it's nice for you to drop in and say hi. So we're just gonna get this damn thing built. So put the PCB to the side. Let me get the plate out just so we can get this whole damn thing put together. So thanks, Welvin. Thanks for dropping in really quick, my man. We're just building this last build for Keeb Life. So this is a personal build for me. So, all right, friends, let's get this thing unscrewed. So this is a really cool board. This is the GSKT-00. So this is a 60% that ran, I'd say like 3 or 4 years ago. But it's a board I've been wanting for a while. I knew Careless. I wanted it to kind of round out my 60% Alps collection. I found out about it through Careless's, when I got into Alps and through Careless's website, I saw that Careless had a plate file for this particular board. And when I saw the board, I'm like, that's simple and I really like it. And I tracked one down. I found it. I got it up at MSRP off a user on Mech Market. And I actually got to see this board at the Divinity meetup here in Los Angeles back in June. So I knew I'd wanted the board, but to be able to kind of see one in person was really nice. I mean, this is a pretty, when this board originally ran, it wasn't that expensive. It was about $200. So it's a relatively affordable, kind of reasonable entry-level board in terms of its price point. So I'm just going to put the case to the side because we're really not going to be touching the case till the very end. So it was just kind of a board I really wanted and I really wanted to interact with. So, I did my best to kind of track one down, which was really nice. So here's our plate. So this plate's also kind of interesting too. You can kind of see it's a very interesting design. So we're going to do that. Oh, we got to flip it around. It's the wrong side. So yeah, but this is going to use a big ass enter. So we have no key here. So I want to get my stabilizer parts out. and kind of figure it out. So one thing about this particular keycap set, the actual spacebar that comes with this keycap set is freaking tiny. So it's a baby spacebar. So Careless gave me this white tie-house spacebar that's basically almost an exact match color-wise. So that's the original spacebar. It's just tiny because it was on a laptop. And then this is the spacebar, replacement spacebar that we're going to be using for this particular set. So I want to get my stabilized keycaps out for this particular build. So let me get my big ass enter. We got our right shift. Let me get my caps lock. We don't need a stabilizer for. Tab we don't need. Let me find that. Yeah, we don't have a backspace on this. So we got our big ass enter. So we got those 3 stabilizers. I want to see if there's one, because this also has a split right shift. So let me find that. My Alt key. Let's put that O-ring, because we are using an O-ring mounting system for this board. So let me find my actual, let me put the Passante to the side. Caps lock, we're not using stabilizers for, so there's my shift. So perfect. So let's put all these keycaps to the side. We're really not going to be using those. And then we got our right shift, and of course we're not using that space bar. So this is going to be a really cool build, folks. We're using some really cool switches. This is a switch set I got from Careless, and I've been sitting on for a little while. Just kind of waiting for the right build, and this is the perfect build for these particular switches. So it's funny because we have the SKCL creams in here, and we're going to have the SKCM non-dampen cream switches, which are going to be really cool. So this is going to be a really cool, really kind of special build. So we'll put the keycaps to the side. We're not going to be really touching the keycaps till a little bit later on. So let's put our, let's get that number 7, put that away. We don't want to lose those. Yeah, and then we're going wing keyless on this board, which is really nice. So let's get this going. Let's put in our stabilizer clip right here for the let me get my little spudger over here. It's over. That's just going to make inserting this big ass enter clip a little bit easier. There we go. Awesome, friends. So we got that stabilizer for our big ass enter. Let's put our little post on the big ass enter. So awesome. That's good. Got our goodies right there. We're not going to use that. So let's put our clips on these particular keycaps, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, we'll put our clips on our left shift. We've got to put our clips on our big ass enter. Awesome. And put our clips on our space bar. So I believe we're going this way. Kind of line up and figure out how we're doing our space bar. I got to get a tie-how wire out because we are using a tie-how space bar. So let me get one of the tie-how wires out. Not that one. Great, I gotta get all these tie-how parts out to get that wire. Since we are using a tie-how spacebar, don't want the big wire, I need the smaller wire. And there we go. Cool. Got all these damn stabilizer parts. So let's just make sure that that works. I think it's the other way around. We're gonna do these, so let's just get the clip. Let's get the clips in, and then I'll kind of figure out spacebar crap. So let's get that stuff in. Cool. Let's get these little clips in. These are the original stabilizer parts from the original IBM computer. So that's really cool. So this is going to have a really cool keycap set. There we go, get that one in. Let's put the clips for our big ass enter in here. also I got to make modifications to this plate because we're doing split backspace on this one. So, which is really cool. So the actual backspace for this particular set's really hard to find, the 2U backspace. So this is going to be one of my first personal Alps builds with a split backspace, which is going to be really cool. And I don't think I have any smaller wires for this one. I don't think this shift needs... Yeah, I don't think we need a stabilizer for that, realistically. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put that shift back. Really just having 3 stabilized keycaps because we got to make some modifications to our PCB right here. So, oh shit, never mind. We can probably do, okay, that one goes there. Never mind, folks. I think we're going to be able to use our little 2U or smaller stabilizer stuff. Let me just see. Let me get my spacebar clips in and double check that these are going to work with the tie-how. If not, I'll pull out some tie-how wire clips. But this is going to be a learning experience because I've never actually combined tie-how set stuff with original stuff. Always kind of kept it either a board gets original keycaps or it gets tie-how keycaps. I've never had to mix and match. I just want to make sure that this wire operates here just as it's supposed to. It has a really tight fit. Hopefully the lube makes that a little bit better. Okay, I think we're gonna go with tie-how right here for clips, just because those are designed for the spec of that wire. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're gonna put those to the side. We're also gonna get our 2U shift out because we are gonna be utilizing one of those. Okay, I threw it in the case. There we go. Because we're gonna put a little stabilizer on that one just to be safe, just because that's what it was designed for. So we're gonna put clips right here. I just want to use everything for the original set. Kind of weird using a little. Yep. So we'll use that. Let me put stabilizers on this little one right here. Yep. Cool. So those keycaps are set up with their clips. I believe this one is good too. I just want to put in some tie-how wire clips on here. So, all right, where the heck are they? There. Where the heck am I? There we go. So we're going to put some tie-how stuff since we are using a tie-how spacebar in here. So again, this is what Carolus has done with his particular build of these. Because Carolus, Carolus is a good friend of the channel. Carolus has said one of his favorite sets is this IBM 5140 keycap set. So I'm really excited to finally have my own build. This is just an expensive keycap set because like the IBM 5140s are like $200 to $300 on the cheap end. So because they're mainly expensive because of the keycaps, the computer itself is valuable, and the brownouts are valuable. So you kind of get 3 for 3 on that one. So let me just put this wire in here, just make sure that is a little bit better. Yeah, we'll lube that and that should be fine. Okay, so all right, let's put these tie-how parts away. Let's put these OG Alps parts away because we have all of our stabilizer parts we need. So let's put these away. Perfect. Let's put this away. Get all this stuff put away, and then we'll get moving on to our next step. So we're just putting these parts away. Perfect. Let's get our OG parts put away because we're not using those. And then we're good to go. All right, that one's done. Let's just reorient these spacebar clips right here, and then we'll be good to go. Cool. Just reorient these, pull them out. I just want to make sure everything lines up. So I want to pull out a switch really quick. So these are really cool switches. Very underrated switch because it is a little bit of a rare switch to try and find. So I'm really happy I was able to get this set from these switches from Careless. It's just going to be a set I've always really, really wanted. Okay, give me a second. I just want to make sure everything lines up. Yeah, we'll be good there. Sweet. All right, we'll get everything going. Those are good. Let's take this out. We got to modify this plate to support a full 2U, split backspace. So I'm going to take this clip out here really quick for the stabilizer post, and we're going to get my file out, and we're going to file this down. So let me get my files out. And we're gonna kind of go from there. So we gotta do some modifications to this build because Careless kind of gave me the option if I could find a 2U backspace, cool. But he also gave me the support for a 2U backspace. So I essentially have to cut out. I basically have to pull out the portions that are for the 2U. So let me get my pliers and everything. So this is a pretty easy modification. It is a permanent one. So if I do in the future track down a 2U backspace, I would have to desolder the whole build and get a new plate, which kind of sucks, but hey, it's just part of the fun of this build. But I think I'm going to keep it with split backspace. All right, got that part out. Now we just need to get the portion for our stabilizers out of here, and then we'll be good. So let's get these portions out. I'm going to have to get my big pliers, pull these ones out. Cool. So yeah, we're just pulling and bending these tabs out, and then once they're bent off, then we'll file everything down flush so everything fits. So it's a little bit of a process in how we do these, but it's going to be fun. So, all right, we're just going to bend these up and then bend them back. So, now we're just bending them back and forth, everybody. So this is the part of the build that is kind of custom, kind of hand-fitted. So, just getting it going. I just got to do this nice and slow because I don't want to do any damage to other parts of the plate. So cool. All right, got that portion off. We'll file that down. That's going to be nice and clean. And then we're going to get this side now bent off. Cool, let me just see if I can get, it's hard to get the angle on this one. Give me a second. Cool. All right, there we go. Now we can start filing stuff down. So there we go. Let me just toss these little parts. Let's put the pliers to the side, and we'll get the files out. So let's take care of those. All right, friends, so you can see all those parts are kind of taken out of here. Now we just got to file everything down because the switches still aren't going to fit. So it's just kind of a fun process. So you just got to be nice and patient, take our time. Coming along. Okay, so that side is done. Let's do these ones on the bottom right here. Give me a second. There we go. Yeah, so we're just making the modification to the plate so we can have a split backspace. So this plate support comes with support for to backspace factory, but it has to, but if you want to use split backspace, which is most of what you're going to find when you find these keycaps, you've got to modify it. You have to do these breakaway parts and then file down. So there is a little bit of hand fitting that goes into this that we have to do, and that is fine. So we got that portion. We're almost there. Get slow and steady. We're getting there. Cool. All right. Making sure, almost there. That's getting close to being flush. Cool. Looking good. That's looking fine. Just gotta do these bottom portions right here, and then we'll be done with our filing. Cool, that one's done. Let's just do this side. And we got a couple more. So we're just filing these down, folks. This is just part of the hand fitting process of this particular board. So we're almost there, filing that down. So we're coming along. Someone. Checking on things, we're fine there. All right, let's check this one. Coming down. Making progress. Last point we got to file down. Getting there. Getting there, folks. All right. There we go, friends. All right, we'll put our files away. Just want to wipe the plate down. Let's get any of those metal shavings out of the way, just so we don't deal with those. And I think we're good. But yeah, there we go, friends. That now allows us to use our split backspace, which is perfect. So let me just grab a couple of switches and let's just do a little test fitment. And we should be good. Let's just double check that. So what we want to do. Okay, let's just align things up. Oh my gosh, if we can't do our split backspace, we might have to just cut this stream. That's going to be a no-go. We can't do that. Or we'd have to do some more modification to the plate, which is going to be interesting. Let's get some other ones just to kind of line up things. Hold up, friends. We're going to do some test fitment on this plate. Because, yeah, we got to do that. All right. Let's... Cool. So do that. We're just going to do some test fitment on this particular board. To make sure everything's lining up correctly. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we got that test fitment. Okay. So we're gonna have to take off more material. Okay. Interesting. Okay, we're going to do a lot more filing on this plate. This is going to be fun, everybody. So, all right, you get to watch me file down metal, everybody. This is absolutely delightful. So, all right, got to put these away. We got to get the files out. We got a lot of filing we got to do. Oh, fun, man. Fun. Let's do this side just because it's going to be easier. Yeah, this is going to be absolutely delightful, everybody. Look at this. We're getting there, friends. We are getting there. We're getting there. We're 35 minutes in and we haven't even built the damn keyboard, everybody. This is a fun build. We're getting there slowly but surely. Alright, just get those portions off. So slowly but surely, friends, we're getting there. So this is the part of Alps that's hand-fitted, folks. This is very much the hand-fitting part of Alps. Almost there, friends. So, also hotter than hell here in Los Angeles, even with AC. Okay. Awesome. That side is done. Now we got to do this other side, which is going to be more fun because I don't have anything to really rest it on. So we're just going to... So it's going to be patient, folks, and this is just going to be very slow. We're making progress, folks. It's slow, but we're doing it. It's slow, folks, but we're making it. We're making progress. Yeah, we're coming along. It's coming along, folks. We need like I'd say like another millimeter off, and I think we'll be good. But yeah, this is fun, everybody. You get to watch me file down the aluminum. Okay, we're getting really close. We're getting really close to where we need to be on this. So, yeah. It's coming along, folks. We're getting there. We're getting there, friends. We are getting there. Okay, we're getting there. Super, super close, friends. Okay. I'm going to do a test fitment. I think that should do it. I had to take off enough material for both switches to kind of slot in. So let's get 5 switches just for alignment, and then we'll do those double backspace. Oh God, my hands are like covered in like aluminum dust. Holy cow. So yeah, that's hand fitted for you folks. Hand fitted. Yeah, that's the hand fitted part of this. So alright, let's get the PCB over here. Let's just do a little bit of alignment. Okay, those are aligned. Let's see if we can get both of these in here. Okay, let's see if we can line these up. If we line these up, we're money. All right, friends, we are money. Look at that. All right, we got our split backspace fit in there. So look at that. That is hand-fitted split backspace for this board. All right. Also, I just kind of realized a predicament with this board. This board has not been flashed. Let me just see if I can plug it in. Okay, I'm going to try a couple things because I realize this hasn't been flashed. So if I start soldering switches in, I can't test it. And that is a problem. So I might have to go with the OG PCB on this one. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go OG PCB, which I really am kind of bummed about. I mean, I can rebuild this at a later date. I have the desoldering equipment, so it wouldn't be hard. So I think we're going to have to go OG PCB on this. So let me go and get my original PCB out of my PCB like file storage area, and we'll kind of go from there. Did I grab something? No. Cool. All right, let me just grab the PCB, folks. All right, I got to dig it out. Give me a second. All right, let me find. I have a whole frickin' box of PCBs and parts and stuff. So give me a second, friends. All right. Nope. Is that what I think it is? What the? Give me a second, everybody. I gotta find the PCB. Here we go. I see it. All right, friends. Here we go. Here's the OG PCB. So we're gonna have to do OG PCB. I really didn't want to, because I'll show you why. I really don't want to go OG PCB. It's that USB-C. It's that USB Mini B connector. It's fine. This PCB is fantastic, and I know it works. So I want to get one of my dongle adapters out for this. There we go. So cool. That's my Mini B adapter. So I gotta use a dongle for this. Just double check this pops up in VIA. I know I've already tested this PCB, but yeah, this is just one we want to make sure, and we're good. We are good. So. All right, cool. All right, we're good. So we're just gonna have to use. I'm just gonna have to use a dongle when I use this board. So let's get this kind of clipped in, and let's start doing switches. I'm gonna take my backspace switches out. So we got our space bar modified to the way we need it. So that's really nice. Let's get our stabilized. Let's get some switches in here just for stabilization. Perfect. And then I need a big ass enter key. And then let's put that stabilizer post in there for this big ass enter. There we go. Perfect. All right, we got things a little bit stabilized here. I'm just gonna push everything into the foam. There we go, friends. So now we can finally start doing the build, everybody. Look at that. Now what do we do now? We can do the build. So there we go, friends. So we're gonna do some 205G0 on these particular stabilizers. Always, those of you who've been watching enough of my VODs and my streams, we always start with stabilizers, and then we just kind of work our way around. So that is really cool. Just pulling any kind of crap off here. So yeah, so that was our hand fitting for that particular portion, which was fun. So all right, so we'll start off with our right shift. Give me a second. do our right shift first. So let's get our stuff lubed up and we'll go from there. Cool. Get some good old lube in there. All right. Let's lube this wire here, get this puppy on. All right, let's put this wire in. Cool. That one's good. Let's lube this top part of the wire. Cool. It's not that many stabs we got to do on this one today, so that's kind of nice. Cool. That portion in, and then we're gonna. Actually, I think I'm gonna. This 205G0 thing is done. It's kind of toast. And grab my new little jar 205G0. Heck to the yeah. Come on, Google. There we go. So, let's get our new little tube of 205G0 and get these puppies lubed up. So, doing good, everybody. We're having fun with this. So, we do have fun with Alps builds, everybody. So, this is my last build I need to do before we get off to Keep Life. So this build, I will probably end up rebuilding it later on once I get the USB-C board flashed. But I do want to use this build and I do want to display it at Keep Life. So we're gonna get it going. All right, let's get this one in. Wipe this off, any excess lube or residue, what have you. Cool. So this one's done. Those SKCM creams are gonna sound amazing. All right, let's do our big ass enter next. Let me just figure out it's the bigger wire. Yeah, I'll do the big ass enter. So let's get the big ass enter clips lubed, and then we'll get the wire going, and we'll also get our stabilizer post lubed up. Cool, got that one. Let's get our stabilizer post. Get some lube in there. Cool. Got that. All right, let's put this wire on. Cool. Let's get that one. Cool. up that wire lube. Let's now lube the portions of the big ass enter. So we're going to do our clips, and then we'll do our stabilizer post. Hold, wait, what's up? Text? Shoot me a text. What's happening? You have to deal with other people? Alright. Hello, friends. What you have to deal with when you live with the people. So, good times, everybody. Good times. So, just getting this one lubed up. Cool. Let's get this post done. Cool. All right, let's get this one in. Cool. All right, I think we're good. Let me just wipe off any excess lube here. That sounds beautiful. All right, let's get this little shift, and then we'll do our space bar. And I think we'll be good to go on stabilizers. It's kind of weird stabilizing a keycap so small, but I want to do it right and use the correct parts for this particular build. Okay, cool. Let's get the top of this wire done, and then we'll do our space bar, friends. So. That portion, let's just do our little clips. Okay, cool. Let's put this in. Cool. That's done. Let's just now do the big one, the space bar, because, yeah, that's always a pain in the ass. So, got big ass enter, split shift, that one. This is pretty good. Cool. Cool. Let's put these in. just getting some final lube in these clips, and then we'll do the wire. And then we'll just test out our space bar, and we should be good. Cool. All right, why that's done. Just want to do our clips, folks. All right. Give me a second, friends. We're just kind of clipping stuff in. Give me a second. I just got to get a good angle so I can see everything. Right, let's just get some lube down here. Sorry, friends. Had to get a good angle of that. Hold up. All right, I think I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to this particular space bar because I think, yeah, that's not right. All right, we're gonna pull this off. Yeah, we're gonna make some adjustments to this. All right, let's pull that off. Let's just wipe lube off here. Again, that's why we do this live on stream, folks. Again, we're an hour into the stream and we haven't even built the board, everybody. Look at that. So I think we're gonna go to tie-how clips on the bottom. Just, I think, for consistency. So let me find my clips on the bottom. No, of course at the bottom of the bag. Give me a second. There we go. All right, so we're gonna grab some tie-how clips, and we're gonna use those. I think they'll be a little more conducive to what we need for this build and this particular space bar. So let's pull these OG clips off, because again, we're gonna use tie-how parts completely for the space bar. Perfect. Alright, let's just do a little bit of wiping off. It's all good, friends. Alright, so we're going to kind of do a take two on this. Let's do this. So, okay, we're going the other way. All good. Give me a second, folks. We're just going to do a couple adjustments to this board, folks. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer stream, but I want to just do some compressions on here. Cool. Perfect. All right, now let's get our stuff out. Let's relube this damn spacebar assembly. I think we should be good. Cool, that one's done. Cool. That's done. Let's get this wire going. Cool. All right. Wire is lubed. Clips are lubed. Let's get these clipped in. There we go. All right, cool. We're good. We're money. We're money, everybody. Cool. All right, now I can put my 2FIG0 away. And now we can start the build, everybody. Look at that. We're an hour into this damn thing. So this has been fun, everybody. All right, folks. There we go. Look at that. All right. Let's push these ones out because we're not using these. So I don't want to solder those in just yet. Just want to get my. I'll put my split right shift one in. So hold up, let me get my, I gotta find the one for this. There we go, perfect. Perfect. Let's put our keycaps over here. So let's get the PCB mounted. Alright, so, I mean, I'm kind of happy we're using the OG. And then I have the new one on backup, and I'll get that one working. So let's just lower the temp. Perfect. Alright, temp's warming up. We're going to get... Alright. Getting warmed up, friends, and then we'll test these puppies. All right, I think I'm gonna have to do a couple up here just to line stuff up. I guess I'll put the split back spaces in. Just guess I might as well. Give me a minute, I gotta figure out what keycaps go on the 5140. So give me a second. Go to my thing really quick. There's a backspace key, so we're gonna put that on. We're just doing this for alignment and then a /. There we go. Cool. let's get it. Let's get this thing going. Okay, we got most of our switches there. Just want to now just kind of properly seat everything. Cool. Let's go to our space bar. Go to our big ass enter. Perfect. Let's make sure these are seated properly. Gotta get these lined up. There we go. Alright, friends. Let's get this going. Coming along, friends. Coming along. Cool. Alright, friends, let's move that. So we got some switches soldered to get some alignment on that backspace, that split backspace. And then let's just find our escape key really quick. So just for my, oh, it's a tilde. Let me find my tilde key. All right. Give me a second. Let me look for that key. Yeah, tilde. So we're looking for our tilde key. There we go. So, friends, that looks pretty good so far. So, you can kind of see the board come together. So, let's get our dongle and everything put together. And let's go and test these. All right, let's go. Here we go. All right, let's go to our switch tester. That's good. That's good. Awesome. Okay, let's program this one. Okay, this one's not working. Okay, it's faulty. Okay, that's good. So everything works. I want to check this. Damn. All right, let me get my keycap puller. Okay, we got to pull out that. That one. We got to pull out this one. So that's split backspace. So we got to pull out our thing. So let's get that. So let's move some stuff around. Let's fire up the soldering gun. We're probably gonna have to declog some shit that is probably stuck in it. So let's get this puppy warmed up. Let's get our tools for it on the side. All right, let's get. Pull the chamber off because yeah, we're definitely gonna have a clog. So let's pull the nozzle off just while we're ahead. There we go. Yeah, I've been having some issues with this tool. Yep. Got a nice clog. Got a pretty decent clog in here. See if I can pull this stuff out with my pliers. Alright, I see the clog. It's pretty decent. See if I can grab it with my other ones. Lord. Okay, that's a decent amount. Alright, let's see. Let's see if that's the clog is still bad. It's really bad. Yeah. Alright. Hopefully that's enough. Alright. Should be enough to pull that split backspace out. Already clogged. We're gonna let this heat up. While we're at it, I'm gonna take the nozzle off. Give me a second, friends. I'm gonna take the nozzle off just while we're at it. With that, I'm gonna let this thing crank up. We're gonna let that warm up just so we can get that properly declogged. In the meantime, let's open up this switch and get it out. Actually, we can just kind of spudge it out. It's on the edge. Alright, so that one just has a faulty switch plate, unfortunately. So let's put this one in. And of course, we got to reline this damn thing up. All right, let's see. Again, this is going to be a fun build, everybody. Yeah, we're good. All right, friends, we're making our way through this one. This one's a fun build. All right. Cool. All right, let's put that to the side. Let's plug this puppy in. Let's see what's up. All right, let's open up VIA for this one. Perfect. All right, we're good. All right. That's pretty good. I'm going to put my PCB to the side for right now because I want to see if I can get this crap out of here. There's a ton of crap that's just built up in there. I think we're getting all this crap out of here. Cool. Alright, I think that'll do it. I think we got a bunch. Look at all that crap we got out of it. Let's see how this thing sounds now. Yeah, it's a lot better. Alright, just going to turn down the temp when we use it again next. There we go, friends. Let's just dump all this crap out of here really quick. Give me a second, friends. Alright, there we go. So, got that in. So let's get let's do some of the few other switches here. Since we are doing a wing keyless, we only need to, not the entire bottom row. Cool. There we go, friends. All right, let me just move my via out of the way. Perfect. Let's move our tools over here. Let's get our keycaps over here. All right, so we're gonna do these switches. These next just 6 switches, and then once we know those are done, then we can move on to the rest. We'll do the number row, and then we'll kind of work our way through. But it's nice knowing everything so far is so good. So this is a really cool set, and I'm really excited. So let's get my vent going, and let's solder these puppies in. Cool. Cool. Well, let's keep it going. Those are good. Cool. Those are good. We got a couple more pins. Nice. Alright, so got those, folks. So we're coming along, friends, as we can kind of see. It's coming good. So let me just open up VIA and let's just test these switches that we have just installed. If these are good, oh, it would help if I plugged it in. All right, cool. Let's try that again. Cool. That's good. That's good. Caps lock. Tab is good. Ah, right all isn't good. Control's good. We have another switch that's faulty, so we got to pull that one out. So this one right here. So let's get our desolder gun going. Yeah, it's this alt right here. So let's get that alt going. All right, it's heating up, everybody, and then we'll get it going. Perfect. All right, we are heated up. Let's get this alt out of here. Let's pull that switch out. Actually, wait. Oh, I can just spudge it out the way it's at the bottom. Too late. No, too late. I'll just pull it out. Okay, so let's get these little components out. Ah. Oops. I desoldered the wrong one. That's not good. It's this one. Cool. Let's grab another one of these. Cool. All right, let's solder that in, and then we'll do a test. And then we should be good to move on to our number row. Cool. All right, let's plug that in and test it. Perfect. All right, we are good. I'm gonna put my solder gun away for right now. So we're not using that. Perfect. All right, friends, I just want to put my other switches on just because this looks so good. And one thing about this set, only comes with what the heck? We're good. It only comes with one control, so I will be pulling a control key off of another keyboard. We'll get to we'll cross that road when we get to it. So all these keycaps are good. So that is really, really awesome. So let's put the number row in. Let's get this one. This one has to go up, downward. There we go. Hold everything in, centered. And then let's do the rest of our number row. So this board is going to look really, really awesome. So I've been on here a good while. But this board is going to be so worth it when it's done. All right, cool. Man, those look so good. All right, let's flip it around and let's get our little vent and our soldering iron going. Let's get our solder wick out. All right, friends, let's get it going. Do Cool. All right, got those side. So I want to make sure everything is properly seated. Cool. They're all seated. Let's do the second pin on all of them. Cool. All right, let's bring it back, friends. Look at that. So, looking really good. Look at that. So, let's plug it in and let's do a test. All right, let's see. Let's go to the VIA. All right, let's go over here. And okay, all of our keycaps ones still work. 4 is being weird. All right, we got to desolder 4. Number 4 is being weird, so let's desolder that. It's process making these all work. But it is worth it. All right. So, number 4 is just being faulty. Now, I only have about 60 of these switches. I have 58 switches I need. So if I go through more than 4 dead switches, I'm gonna have to harvest. I'm gonna have to pull switch plates from other switches. So these use gray switch plates, so I'll probably have to pull from either green or orange Alps. So. There we go. Let's make sure I'm counting right. Number 4 right here. Really? It already clogged? This is ridiculous. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to probably get some new parts for this machine. Because I definitely need this. Can't have this thing be out of order. Like, I kind of need this tool to work. Yeah, eventually I have to do probably like a proper teardown of this, but I think for just the purposes, this is the last Alps build I have to do for a while. Alright. Alright, let's spudge this one out. There we go. Alright. Let's crank that up. Alright, let's get this going, friends. Alright, let's try this again. Shit. Four is still being weird. Shit, okay. Alright, we'll definitely have to pull off some switch plates from other switches, which is fine. Just want to make sure everything is working. Cool. Alright, 4 is good, but we'll definitely, if we have any more dead switches, we got to pull switch plates. Alright, those are good. Alright. See if I can pull this crap out. Give me a second while we're still hot. Alright, give me a second. I'm trying to get stuff that's clogging up my thing out of here. Alright. That'll do for right now. Cool. It's going well, friends. Going well. Alright, let's start on our main home alpha row. Going to our next row. I'm just going to put my other keycaps on here. So I just think this is such an attractive looking keycap set. This is a really good keycap set. Let's pull that 0 over. There we go. Wait a minute, where the heck is my 9? There it is. Oh man. So there you go, friends. We got our perimeter done pretty much. Just got to do the interior of our alphas. Cool. All right, let's do these alphas really quick. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to pull out some switch plates from other switches because I want to see how many we have left. How many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to need all of them. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to harvest switch plates. So I'm going to put the rest of these in here, because we're definitely going to have to harvest switch plates, because we're going to be using every single one of these switches. Oh, fun. So we're going to put the rest of them in here and kind of figure out what we got to do, because we're definitely going to have to be pulling some switches apart. So I'm going to put the rest of these in here. Yeah, because we got to harvest switches. We got to cannibalize some other switches for their switch plates. Fun. Yeah. So we are going to be using every single switch here. So yeah, fun times, everybody. So yeah, these are the ones we definitely gotta reharvest. So let's just solder these in and just kind of go from there. So let's plug my vent in. Yeah, this is definitely an involved build, friends. Cool. Cool. Coming along, friends. So again, those of you who are tuning in, thank you so much. It's a fun time. That one's done. Got to do this next row and like half of this last row. So Coming along, friends. Coming along. Alright. Getting there. Good times, everybody. Cool. And again, we'll have to figure out which switches we need to get new switch plates for. And just kind of do trial and error on that part. So I'm hoping we don't have to do very many. But we're going to be transplanting and pulling switch plates out of other switches. So I have a set of switches we're probably going to pull from. Alright, last one we got to do for right now, and then we got to test, and then see where we got to harvest switch plates from. That's the benefit of having a metric crapload of Alps on hand. So, alright, friends. Alright, so we have pretty much all but 4, because these 4 switches are kind of over here off camera. We're using all the switches. These switches for sure have to have new switch plates. I got to go do some testing and figure out what other switches need to be tested. I need new switch plates. So let's see what we got to do. All right, here we go. Awesome. So let's see. So let me open up VIA really quick. All right, let's go to our key tester. That's good so far. Okay, letter U. I'm going to write these down because letter U has to be swapped. Okay, U. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. F. Okay, U, F. D is fun. S and F on this one. All right. All right. So I need to find 7 switch plates. Okay. So let's desolder the switches I know that are bad right now. So let's get the desolder gun out, and then we'll work on harvesting some switch plates from extra and surplus switches that I have. That's kind of why I have them on hand. So, all right, let's plug this puppy in. So we're doing this build. So we have these 4 switches right here. So U, S, and F. So that's actually pretty good so far. For a set of like 60 or so switches, to have like 7 dead switches is pretty good. So, I mean, they're not greens, which I'm probably going to be pulling switch plates from green Alps, which is going to be absolutely delightful. Okay, so you... do U first. I'm gonna let this heat up. We have another clog. This I gotta definitely after Keep Life do a deep clean of this tool, and this is my last Alps build I have to do for a while. So, and I don't think I'm really harvesting stuff coming for it. Yeah, we're just sucking all that crap out of there. Perfect. Okay, and then S, and then F. S and F. All right, cool. So, while that's taking care of itself, let's pull these switches apart. So we're doing this final portion here. For those of you who've tuned in, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We're just doing some troubleshooting on these very rare Alps SKCM creams. All right, I gotta. There we go. There we go. Let's pull them out. There's that switch plate. That's a dead switch plate. Let's do S and F. Cool. All right, let's pull these bottom portions out. Cool. All right, so these switch plates are no good. I need to find 7 switch plates. So give me a second. Let me pull out. Gotta go to my. What am I using? Green Alps. All right, here we go. All right, this isn't gonna be fun because Green Alps are a pain in the ass. So, this is gonna be absolutely delightful, folks. We gotta. I haven't had to do this on stream because I literally just have enough to do this. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. So let's figure out which of these Green Alps are gonna work. So I had to like reassemble a ton of these. So let's just figure this. I'm looking for gray switch plates on these. So let's see what we got. gray switch plate. Let's try it. Alright, got a gray switch plate, so let's see if we can get this top row going. So this is a very interesting solution, but we're going to make it work. Let's just try this one. Solder this one in. Cool. All right, let's try that U first, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right, U is good. Perfect. All right, let's look for more gray switch plates. So that's what we're looking for. Some of these greens, when I've repaired them, I put white switch plates in them because, I mean, they work for the most part. Let's put this one back together right. This one's got put together back wrong. I'm gonna turn that off, just let it cool down. Alright, we're looking for gray switch plates. We need 6 more. It's a white one. So we're looking for them, friends. So we're having fun. It's a white switch plate. So yeah, this is a fun build, everybody. This is the part of Alps that isn't so glorious, but we're gonna make it work, everybody. I think I replaced a lot of these with white switch plates, so we're just gonna see. Gray switch plate, heck yeah. Let's do it. Let's pull it out. Oh yeah. Cool. Alright, please work. Please work switch plate, because then that means I only have to find 5 more. Alright, let's solder this one in. Yeah, this is a whole operation, everybody. Whole operation. Nice, and then this one. Cool. You just clean off my soldering tip. Cool. Awesome. Let's put these to the side. Let's test that one. Please work. All right. It's not consistent. Gotta pull it out. All right. All right, let this heat up. Gotta search for more gray switch plates, friends. Like, it works, but it's not giving a prop. It's still giving like a faulty signal. So here we go. Yeah. Alright, I gotta let this heat up. Alright, we got a decent clog here. Oh, shit, that's not good. Alright, that's not good at all. Let's pull this one out. We're having fun with this one today, friends. So, another dead switch plate, sadly. So, gonna keep on going in our search. And then we gotta pack up stuff tonight. Here's another gray switch plate. Let's see what we got. Alright, gray switch plate. Let's see if you can work. And that means there's one less switch plate we gotta find. Cool. Let's get that one in. Solder these puppies. Again, this is a very slow process, but we're gonna get this build done. That one's going. Cool. Let's plug it in. Alright, let's reset this. Let's reset that. I want to see. I'm going to come back to this, X out, come back in. Think that might work. We're going to see. Okay. Put this keycap on it. Sorry, I'm just using the keycaps just to give a better responsiveness. Okay, I'm gonna do one thing to this switch. I'm just gonna do one little modification to the switch plate. just so we can make sure she works 100%, and then we'll move on looking for 5 more. Okay, just want to grab my pliers really quick. There we go. All right, we're good. We are good in that department. Perfect. All right, gotta look for 5 more. Let's keep this show going, everybody. All right, keep it going. I know this build's fun, everybody. I love it. I mean, I don't know. Who am I kidding? I love this crap. White switch plate. Don't need it. Gray switch plate. Yay. Okay, let's put this one in. Away. All right, let's put this in. Put the switch plate in. All right, let's see if we just get one and done with this one. All right, again, this is a fun build, everybody. It's part of the process. Cool. All right, let's plug it in. Let's get VIA open. All right. That worked. Awesome. I just need 4 more switches. Cool. Cool. All right, friends. I'm going to put on just some keycaps just to this very top row right here, just to make it feel more complete. So it's looking really good. Oh my gosh, that looks awesome, everybody. Look at that. So, we just need to get these 4 other switch plates in. But yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah, that looks really nice. So, loving how it's coming out so far. So, gotta just do 4 more, find 4 more switch plates, and then we can kind of make sure they work and solder them in. But yeah, it's looking sick. This is a really good looking thing. That's a white switch plate. We need 4 more switch plates. That one didn't get put together right. Yes, gray switch plate. Woo. All right, let's take this one apart and let's pull this old switch plate out. There we go. No más bueno. Now we're just kind of going one at a time for these last 4 switches. Alright, let's hope this one works, and that means we only got to do 3 more. So let's see. Let's get VIA open again. That switch plate is no good. Alright, gotta keep going. Gotta desolder it. That one's no good. Let's keep it going. Another gray switch plate. Is that gray? Yep. Let's try this one. Okay, let's try doing this one, folks. Again. Whew. Working hard on this one. This one has been a pain in the butt, but it's going to be worth it once it's done. Alps are a labor of love, everybody. So I will say that. Like, it's tough working on them sometimes, but the end result when you have that finished build is so worth it. So let's just see what we got. Another faulty switch. Damn it. That sucks, man. Here. No, we're going to keep going. Because we also got to pack all this crap up, too. Cool. All right, let's pull it out. It sucks, man. Another gray switch plate. See what we got. See if we get lucky this time. So let's see. Alright, let's try soldering that in again. Really want this one to be done. Alright. Let's see, friends. Yay! Let's reset that. I think we have a successful switch right here. Yep, we're good. M is good. Alright, let's look for another switch plate here. Got 3 more switches we gotta do, friends. So, this is a little bit of a longer one for a 60%. White switch plate. White switch plate. We want gray switch plates for these. Gray switch plate. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, let's pull this one apart. Now, this is a lot of hand fitting, folks. A lot of troubleshooting with these particular builds. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into Alps, especially if you want to do it right. So, that's why you pay me to do your Alps builds, and I do all this crap for you. Okay, let's try that again. Alright. Looking good. Alright, let's see. We can just get this one one and done. Let's get VIA open. Let's go to our switch tester. Awesome. I like seeing that. 2 more, friends. 2 more. So let's look for some more gray switch plates here. Gray switch plate. Here we go. Let's see if that works. Alright. Let's disassemble this switch. Pull out the dead, faulty switch plate. Perfect. there. Solder this one in. Hopefully we can get this one, then we have just one more we got to do, friends. Alright, let's reset this. Ah, damn. Okay, I'm getting a partial signal, so let's see if I can maybe just modify this switch plate a little bit. Sometimes if I just tighten them a little bit, we can get it to work. So let's see if we can do that. It's not, yeah, it's not responsive enough. All right, we're gonna desolder this one. That's just bad. Yeah, this is not a good switch plate. Oh, Lord. Alright, this hunt still continues for more switch plates. So white switch plate, we want gray. Hey, we're down to our last two switches, folks, so white switch plate, we don't want those. We want gray switch plates in this one, just for the OG factor. Gray switch plate, let's see what we can do. See what we can do here. Okay, this one's also kind of loose. So I'm going to see if we can. Let's see what we can do for this one. We might be able to get this one to work. Not really. I'm going to try one more thing on this one. I doubt this one's going to work, but we'll see. I think this is going to be another faulty one, but we're just going to try it. Because if it works, then cool. I don't have to deal with it. But I doubt this one's going to work. But hey, if it works, I'll be happy. Yep, not gonna work. Kind of called it. It's okay. All right, let's desolder this one. pull this switch plate out. Still look out for these final couple switch plates, folks. So still looking. Oh, gray switch plate. Let's see what we got. Okay, this one might work. I think we're going to get lucky with this one. That spring didn't go down right. Cool. Cool. That one's good. Alright, I think this switch plate's going to get us to be successful, but we'll see. Yeah! Alright. Just gotta look for one more switch plate, folks. And then we're... this long, arduous journey has been over. So this is the very, very fun side of Alps. White switch plate, we don't want that. White switch plate, we don't want that. Yep, didn't put that one back together correctly. White switch plate, we don't want that. We are looking for gray switch plates. Gray switch plate, here we go. Let's see what we can do. Will this be successful? Who knows, but we're gonna try. Alright, this switch plate is done. Alright, let's put this new switch plate in here. And we're looking for the gray ones because these are the God damn it. Let's drop the spring. Give me a second. I gotta find the spring, friends. I just dropped it on the ground. Give me a second, friends. Oh, man. Ah, crap. Let me find these. Oh, Lord. Give me a second, everybody. Alright, I need to get a new spring because I lost my spring. It's okay. Alright, give me a second, friends. That's what you have to Alps on hand. Give me a second. That's why, yeah. Pull switches out. Cool. Alright, we got a new spring. We're good. Alright, friends. There we go. Fun. Yeah, this has been a fun ordeal, everybody. So, let's get this last switch hopefully done. And then we can start cleaning up and put the case in. Put the board in the case. Cool. All right. Let's reset my switch thingy. Ah, thank God. All right. We're done. Oh my God. That was an ordeal. All right. Just put all these damn switches to the side. And put these extra keycaps to the side. And put my tools to the side. Oh my freaking God. That was fun, everybody. Look how much fun that was. Yeah, that's the part that is frustrating sometimes. But let me just put these keycaps away. We're not using these. Alright, cool. Holy cow, why does a bunch of people just show up? God, hello. Been on here for like almost 3 hours on this damn 60%, friends. I mean, SKCM, I'll be completely honest, this is my very first build with them, but they feel freaking awesome. I've been on here for almost 3 hours, like troubleshooting crap, so just bear with me, friends. This has been an ordeal. So yeah, let me just put my desoldering gun away. Alright, cool. Deal with that in a little bit. Let's turn my soldering iron off. We're finally done soldering, folks, so I'll kind of explain why this freaking took forever. So one thing you just deal with Alps is you'll deal with dead switch plates. So I had a bunch of dead switch plates, and it's just been a hassle with this board, folks. But we got it done. This is an IBM 5140 set. I need to grab another set of keycaps because we're gonna have a temporary keycap on there. So let me go grab that. Gotta find it first. Gotta pull it out of my big box of keycaps back here, friends. So give me a second. There we go. Alright, friends. Let me find my keycap. I gotta find it. It's gonna come from a Macintosh. We're gonna use a control from a Macintosh. So this IBM 5140 set, if you want a complete set, you gotta do 2 sets because it only comes with 1 control. So I don't feel like paying. I do eventually want to get another set. I just gotta find. Just gotta dig through these old Macintosh keycaps. I do have one in here somewhere. Here we go. Probably this one. Yay, I found it. Cool. Alright. Oh my God. Cool. So I'm just going to put a Macintosh keycap on here for right now. It's just going to live on here. So the Macintosh keycap will kind of round it out. But yeah, that's my assembly. So I'm going to start grabbing the case and getting ready for final assembly on this damn thing. This has been a kind of crazy and just kind of interesting build, folks. So so Juke City, I'm definitely gonna know what these switches properly sound and feel like once I get it into the case. So I've been on here for a while, just kind of putting this damn build together. So we're gonna put this O-ring on here. So give me a second. Oh, absolutely delightful. There we go. Oops. And we got them on here. Cool. All right, let's put this in here. Let me just see something really quick. Oh, goes the other way. Give me a second. I think it goes that way. Give me a second. This O-ring thingy is kind of weird. Okay, let me figure out this O-ring. Let me figure this out. Give me a second, friends. I want to look up something. Okay. Okay, I want to just take a pic. I got to check my Discord DMs really quick. Give me a second. All right. Okay, let me just see. Okay, give me a second. Okay. Gotta find my message from the person. Yeah, I mean, aside from yeah, I mean, harvesting the switches is fine. I'm sorry, I'm on my phone. I'm looking for my, I think it's this one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Nope. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Here we go. All right. Found what I'm looking for on Discord, friends. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing, too, with, like, SKCM Cream. Sorry, friends, I'm on the, Okay, so I want to see. So, it's going to be that underside PCB right there. Okay, and the gasket's going to go right there. Okay, cool. I'm just making sure I'm doing this right. So, I guess that's how it goes. All right, cool. All right, let's put this dumb thing in, and let's screw it in. All right, let's get this thing screwed in, and then we can do a proper sound test. I was just I had to figure out how that O-ring goes. Yeah, but Juke City, I just want to say, man, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Again, I just want to educate people on Alps, and anyone who's interested in learning about this amazing switch and platform, I love it. So this is a sport I've been really excited to do for a long time. So let's get. Give me a second. I want to get a little bit of a better bit. Yeah, so. Cool. All right, now we can put in all of our corners, get this board together. So really, really nice board. I'm really excited for the GSK. This is a GSKT-00. Oh, dude, my Alps collection is insane. I'm going to be showcasing like 13 freaking Alps builds at Keeb Life this Saturday. Or 14, something like that. It's crazy. So I have a lot of Alps builds. My ultimate goal is to have one of every major switch type except SKCM Neon Green and SKCL Ambers, because those are prohibitively expensive, and I'm not paying that kind of money for either of those switches. So there we go. Get that one in. So we're putting these in. Yeah, but if I had to pick my all-time favorite, it'd probably be Blue Alps. Like, I just love Blue Alps. I'll show you a Blue Alps build in a second that I just did. So here we go. Here's the build. So we got her put together. So there we go, friends. That is our GSKT-00 with IBM 5140 keycaps and Alps SKCM Cream. So this has been a very long stream, folks. I've been on here for almost 3 freaking hours. But hey, we got this freaking build done. Oh my god, this sounds amazing. Yeah, we have that Macintosh control until I get a second IBM set, so it actually matches okay. Which is pretty nice. So, you gotta be crapping me. My dongle's too big. Give me a second. I have a cable. Give me a second. Alright, where the heck are you? I know I have a cable down somewhere. There we go. Alright, I do have a cable. I came prepared. Let's just see if that fits. Gotta be shitting me, man. Wow. I'm gonna have to find something a lot thinner, because that's not gonna fit. Bruh. Wow. Alright, well, I know it works. Dude, I love brown Alps. I have a set of brown Alps. I'm just waiting on the board I want to put them in to come out. Bruh. Look at that. Won't go in. Bruh. Alright, whatever. Alright. Anyway, I want to get out of here. I want to get off stream, folks. I got to pack all this shit up for Keep Life. So let's just do a test and just kind of show you all how this sounds really quick. Yeah, but this looks beautiful. I love this build, how it came out. So, yeah, really nice. So, this is an awesome, awesome build, folks. So, that is the GSKT-00. So, really, really cool little nifty build. I'm very happy how this came out. This is an awesome, awesome board, and I'm very happy to have it finally built, folks. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to get off. This has been a really long stream. Those of you who tuned in, thank you. Again, this was a long build. So, again, have a wonderful evening, folks.